What? No, I was stuck in the animation. I should have just logged out. God damn it, Kativa. Why always you? I was stuck in my shield charge. I should have just logged. What a good way to end off the year, am I right? So as you can see, I've been playing the new Hardcore Abyss League in Path of Exile, and I wanted to share my thoughts on the new league, the build I'm playing, and just Path of Exile in general, since it's not the most frequent thing on the channel. I've uploaded like one or a couple Path of Exile videos in the past, including the most recent expansion, which was the season right before this one. But anyways, let's start off with the new league. My thoughts on the new league. I actually really enjoy it. The way that this league works is you will find little fissures on your minimap. They'll be like green and blackish fissures that are very easy to tell where they are and very easy to see. Even when they open up, it tells you what direction they're going. So anyways, what happens is you step over these fissures and then it will spawn a like crack in the ground, which monsters will start popping out of. And this crack travels to like the nearest gaping hole in the map or something like that. And then when it gets to a huge hole, it stops there for a minute or a few seconds, and then it spawns like, you know, rare monsters, magic monsters, very tough enemies. These enemies are actually extremely tough if you are not very geared for them in terms of like your damage, because they have a lot of life and they also have a lot of life regen. So what you do is you kill like a hole, and then it travels to another hole, and then on average, for the most part, it travels to 3 holes, and then once you defeat that 3rd hole, it can close, by the way, so if you're not fast enough, it will close up. At least that's what I think it does. I don't know if it's like just a percentage chance that it doesn't give you anything, but from what I've seen, if you're too slow, it doesn't give you anything at the end. So you want to make sure, well, besides all the mobs, it's actually very, very, very good experience. But besides that, if you kill all the mobs and you get to the end and you complete it, one of 2 things happens. One, you're going to get an abyssal trove, which drops a bunch of loot, including 2 new items that come with this league, which is the abyss belt, which is basically, it's a belt. It has all the stats of a belt, but it has an abyss jewel socket in it. That is the implicit is a socket, which you also get from the abyssal troves, which are the abyssal jewels is what I'm talking about. And these jewels are actually pretty cool. They're kind of like build-specific jewels. They have a lot of variety in them. And some of the stats you can get is like, if you've killed an enemy recently, then you get 20% more damage. Or, if you haven't killed an enemy recently, you get, you know, 90% more critical strike chance. Stuff like that. So they're very cool jewels. The only bad thing is that it kind of like locks out the slot. If you're not using this belt, you're doing it wrong. And I'm not talking about like headhunters or something. Obviously, if you're rich enough and experienced enough to have a headhunters, you know what the deal is with the game, and I don't need to tell you anything about it. So, ignoring that, it's basically a locked-in slot, which to each their own if you care about locked-in slots or anything like that. But basically, that's the only downside that I have with the belt and the new items from the Abyss. Also, the second thing that can happen is it will open up an abyssal depth. So you don't get an abyssal trove at the end, but the hole gets... I guess the hole sinks even more, the giant hole at the end, and then you can go down into the abyssal depths. Now, the abyssal depths is a whole nother map, which is basically just abyssal monsters, so it's very dangerous, and all the rares have a ton of life regen. So it's pretty tough down there if you don't have the most damage in your build. But the cool part about the abyssal depths is there are a bunch of chests called hordes down there, and they have a very high chance to drop they're basically strong boxes, and they have a very high chance to drop the new jewels and the new belt. So they're very good to go down and complete. And then at the end, there's like this big boss fight kind of where it spawns 3 more gaping holes in the map, and then well, around the boss, and then the boss is like a giant totem that you have to kill. And again, it's timed, so you have to kill it within the time limit, or you will not get any loot, and it will just open the exit and you have to leave. So they're pretty cool. The only downside that I have with the abysses is that sometimes they go backwards. So say you're going through the map, it's a linear map. Say you're going through like channels, right? The channels T5 map. It's a straightaway. You just go from one end to the end, or you go from the entrance to the end, and then you're done. It's a straight, like, you can't get any more straight than channels, right? Sometimes, when you hit an abyss, it goes backwards. So you're going forward, and then the thing goes backwards, and then it goes forward again, and then it goes backwards again. So it's kind of annoying when it does that, because it feels like you're regressing through the map, if that's a word. Not progressing, but the opposite of that, I guess, is regressing, right? So yeah, that's really the only downside that I have with it, and then sometimes it does feel like a waste of time if you don't need those jewels or those belts. However, with the jewels, they have a lot of variety, which means they are ripe for currency. So they're pretty good at making some good currency at the beginning of the league. And by the way, I am pretty late to the league. I know that. I started 3 weeks into it, so I'm sorry that I'm pretty late, but you know, I was busy with the Trove and stuff. But anyway, so that's the whole new league. That's the whole gimmick within the league and my thoughts on the league. The build I'm playing in the league is actually Zizzarin's. I think that's how you say his name. He's a Twitch streamer. I'm using his EK build because I've always wanted to play EK, but I never got the chance to. And they have this new Ring of Blades jewel, which I know is not new, but I haven't played the game in a while, which makes it to where your Ethereal Knives goes in a circle around you. So it's very good for clearing maps. It's a very good map clear and XP'er, and I wanted to hit level 100 this season just because I haven't done that before, and I kind of want to go hard on Path of Exile right now because I'm enjoying it a lot. I like this new league. I got the kick again. You know, my 3,000 hours is not enough apparently. All you need to do is take a break for a few leagues, come back, and it's good to go. But anyways, I'm playing the new EK, or Zizzarin's EK build for 3.1. I'll link to it in the description below. He's the rank 1 hardcore player for the most part. I don't think he got rank 1 this league, but that's because he died. But anyways, he's a pretty good builder, so if you want to follow the build that I'm following, it's all there. He's really good at making guides. Link in the description below. And I'm loving the build. I usually don't like stutter step builds where, you know, you have to use your movement speed scale to get into the middle of the pack, use your ability, and then you keep going like that. I like more builds where you run through mobs, like Righteous Fire, or Cyclone, or like something where the mobs do stuff for you, like SRS. Just, that's me, you know. But because I like those builds, it means that I haven't really played too many of these type of builds where, you know, you jump in, you do one ability, and then you go to the next pack. So I'm really enjoying it right now. It's a pretty fun build. I highly recommend it if you're looking to play a hardcore build. I think you could play this in softcore, but you could probably get a little bit more lenient with the survivability portion. You could probably get a bit more damage because unless you're trying to go for level 100, XP doesn't really matter in softcore. So, you know, I'm loving the build. It's a fun build. That's all I really have to say about the build because, you know, it's not my build. He's already done a guide on his build. I don't want to do a guide on someone's guide, you know what I'm saying? So just go check it out in the description below. It's a really fun build. I might make my own build later in the league. I just want to play a build that I know is powerful since I haven't played the game really at all in quite a while. So I might make my own build. If I do make my own build, I will have my own guide on it later on, but that might be really late into the league because I still want to try to hit level 100 on this build. I did die with it, but I just started again, and I think I got to like level 30 or something right after. So, you know, I'm continuing this build. I might make my own though. If I do, I'll make a guide. Don't you guys worry. But yeah, that's really it for this video. I do really enjoy Path of Exile. It's one of my favorite games of all time, so if you guys like Path of Exile too, I will be making more videos on Path of Exile, especially since I have like 100 hours in the past week. Well, if that's even possible, I don't know, but maybe 2 weeks. But yeah, I was pretty late to the league, but I am hooked again. And if you guys haven't tried out the new league, I highly recommend it. It's a good league. It's not like last league, Harbinger, or Harbinger, whatever you want to call it. I think it was Harbinger. That was a terrible league in my opinion. I did not enjoy that at all, the whole gimmick part of it. The game I enjoyed, but not the gimmick part of the league. And this league, I do enjoy quite a bit more, even though I do have those little bits of criticism where it does feel like you're wasting your time sometimes. And most people do skip it at this point. But anyways, you know, it's a good time to get into it. This is the last video of the year because it is the last day of the year. At least when I'm voicing this, it is December 31st. So I hope you guys have a very good new year. I am going to be doing a 365-day streaming challenge on my Twitch channel. If you guys want to hop over to twitch.tv/underrated54 and give it a follow. I want to do this challenge so that way, you know, I can keep my consistency. The last year, 2017, was the biggest year for my channel, both on Twitch and YouTube. I got Twitch partner. You know, YouTube was crazy. I went from like not even 10,000 subs. I went from 8,000 subs to nearly 30,000 subs in just a couple months. I did stop doing YouTube videos, which I'm very sorry about, but that's what I'm saying. It was the biggest year, but also my most absent year because I've had a lot of stuff to do IRL this year. It's been a crazy year IRL, but that's why I'm trying to kick off 2018 streaming at least every single day, and hopefully for you guys, a YouTube video every single day. So look forward to that, and I'll see you guys next time. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like, and if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button plus the bell next to it so you can be notified whenever I upload a video. If you would like to further support the channel, make sure to check out my Humble Bundle affiliate links in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.